Welcome to Talking Black and Blue, where the rivalries run deep and every Sunday is a battle. I'm your man, Will McCann, and along with my partner, Tellis, we're a couple of fans from the heart of the Midwest, bringing you real talk from the NFC North, the Black and Blue division. So whether you wear green and gold, Honolulu blue, purple and gold, or you rep the first place monsters of the Midway, you are in the right place. So lace up, strap in, and let's talk black and blue. Tell us, my man, what is up?
What's up, friends and kinfolk? We really appreciate you guys joining us on the Black and Blue podcast. We have a lot of fun over here. Tell all your football friends how much fun we have. Just a reminder, Will and I are real estate agents in the state of Michigan. So if you or anybody you know is looking to buy, sell, or invest, hit us up for a winning game plan in real estate. We'll help you score a touchdown. What's going on, Will McCann? We want to talk about that Michigan-Ohio State game.
Let's start there, right? That was, we talked about the emotion of the game, right? And how records are thrown out of the window, right? Stats are thrown out of the window. And it is just two schools with dislike for each other bringing their emotion into this game, right? And even though it was a home game for Michigan, Ohio State thoroughly dominated, right? Yes. I don't even think the score indicated how much they dominated in that game.
I feel you on that because the score was 27-9, but when I think back to the game, I was thinking maybe it was like 45-6.
Yeah, it felt like that, right?
Right.
There wasn't a point after Ohio State took the 10-9 lead. There wasn't a point in the game where it looked like Michigan had a chance.
Right.
We talked about how the team who won the rushing battle will win this game, and they just stomped on Michigan with their offensive line. When one offensive line is dominating a defensive line like that, it puts everything behind the chains for the offense. Because you've been sitting on the sideline for 25 minutes. Now, only 8-9 minutes of game time has elapsed, but you've been sitting over there idle, cold for a long time. Yes. And then your first snap, you're trying to fire out and get into somebody. And it just wasn't happening for Michigan. Couldn't get the run game really going. Ohio State's defense was just dominant in that game. Mm-hmm. They made Bryce Underwood looked like a freshman playing in a big game like this for the first time, right? It is just this team, this 2025 version of Ohio State is significantly better than the 2025 version of the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, they're definitely significantly better, as you mentioned. And they control the time possession, 40 minutes to 40 minutes of time possession. The one thing that I wonder about in this age of NIL, and it kind of feels like the NFL's version of free agency.
It is.
Will Michigan go out and get Bryce Underwood some receivers? Because the receiving core that he's working with is not adequate for the potential that the young man has, right? If you want to keep him around, and if he has thoughts of being an NFL player or thoughts of winning a Heisman Trophy, he's got to have receivers. So does Michigan open up the checkbook and go out there and go in NIL free agency and get some receivers for this young man? Because
the transfer portal, right?
The transfer portal, right? So that's the only thing that I wonder about is going forward for Michigan. Are they going to get something going for the passing game? Mm-hmm. They should end up in the bowl game, maybe the Citrus Bowl. Looking at the current rankings, they're actually 19th in the rankings, and USC has jumped them. So the Citrus Bowl has first pick at who doesn't go into the playoff situation. So Michigan could get into the Citrus Bowl over USC and maybe face Texas or Vanderbilt. they'll travel. The fans will travel to Orlando, so it'll be a good game for them. They'll continue to build the program.
Yeah, Michigan is a school that traditionally travels well,
Yeah,
regardless of the bowl they go to. And Michiganders will be glad to go to Florida
right.
mid-December, right? Or early
Yeah,
January, right?
if we're
If they
not
have
already
to.
there.
They'll be right, right. Right, right.
Uh,
So yeah,
yeah,
I agree with you. They still have a chance to play in a bowl game. I think the important thing about the bowl game and bowl season is all those extra practices and getting ready for a bowl game, right?
absolutely.
That's additional. Those are additional. That's additional rep, additional training for young players getting ready for 26. And
Right,
then
right.
as it relates to NIL and what Michigan will do there, they went out and paid for Underwood, right?
Right.
I would doubt and Michigan has the resources, right?
Hmm.
So I would doubt they, um, they will definitely make the effort, right?
Yes.
How successful they are in securing a lot of those players will remain to be seen, right? Because
Yeah.
Michigan traditionally haven't had, it's been a long time since Michigan has had skill position players who have been, top NFL drafts, right? Or
Hmm. Hmm.
NFL draft orders. It's been a long time. So
Yeah.
these young kids haven't seen people going to Michigan. They don't remember Anthony Carter or Nico Collins or um, Braylon Edwards and those
Right.
people, right? Those names
Yeah.
don't mean anything to them. So it'll be interesting to see. And then that's how Ohio State was able to rebuild their team after
Yeah.
winning the national championship last year, right? It was
Right.
with it through the transfer portal and with
Yeah.
NIL money and being able to spend big in NIL.
Right. And that's if Michigan wants to keep Bryce Underwood. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Or if he wants to stay. Those are the two questions that have to be answered before they go out and try to bring in some receivers to help him.
You have to do that anyway. If you
Yeah.
want to be a team that competes, you've got to do that anyway, whether Bright stays or not.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to continually, every year, recruit and re-recruit your team and get additional players from the portal,
Yeah.
right?
I just keep
Especially
it.
with fifth-year seniors. I think what they need to do for next year is load up with as many fifth-year seniors as they can who want to transfer from other schools, and see if they can, make a quick rebound and
Right.
continue to try to recruit. And then, like you said, get players through the portal to
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
Mark Underwood.
I'll just say there's one last thing about it. I keep in the back of my mind that Michigan wasn't Bryce Underwood's first pick.
You always remember that. Yeah.
It wasn't until that money showed up that he decided he was going to Michigan. So,
What did Richard Pryor say about money talks? And the BS walk.
right, 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 right. But man, let's get into this NFC North. Come on,
Man,
man.
what a season it has been, man. We've gone through 13 weeks. It has gone by so fast, man.
Yes.
There have been great games every week. The Thanksgiving weekend. I hate when people use the phrase that the season doesn't start until after Thanksgiving. The season started back in September, right?
Right,
The
right.
games get important after Thanksgiving. So I understand the essence of the phrase or the intent of it. I just think it's kind of it's media speak, if you will, right?
Right, right,
The
right.
media being cute, but yeah, man. How about Chicago going on the road, man, and beating Philly, the bullies of the NFC, the bullies of the league, right? Went
Man.
in there and physically dominated I couldn't believe what I was seeing, man. I mean,
They dominated
their
on both
offense, their
sides.
offensive line did to the Eagles what Ohio State's offensive line did to Michigan. 280 yards in an NFL game.
Yes.
47 rush attempts. They ran the ball 47 times. They
Yeah.
had 28 first downs. The average is somewhere around 22. They had
Right, right.
20. They had 17 rushing. They had 17 rushing first downs. Philly only had 14 total first downs. Man,
Yeah.
they just physically dominated Philly, and it was eye opening. Man, I could not believe what I was watching. But man, the Bears.
Yeah, they looked like a great team that night.
Man,
Just fantastic. Like you were saying, the rushing, the offensive line, defensive line, the defense was playing well. Just man, they still and that defense got two takeaways again,
yes, yes.
a fumble and an interception.
Kevin Byard with
So
another
that was
interception.
for me. That's a statement game.
It certainly was. It
That's a
certainly. I
game
agree.
where the Bears are saying we're legit.
You
We're
doubted us. Did you
yes,
doubt us for real?
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
we're here.
And
We're
all
not
those
coming. We're not coming.
yeah,
We're here.
and then all those free agencies moves they made, especially on the offensive
The
line.
ones on the O line are all
Come on,
paying off.
man,
They're all paying
they
off.
they all panned out. So, man, I just hey. I have nothing to say. They're just showing me something special. It looks
I
like
was going to say they're having a special season for
they're
sure.
having a special season. They're having a special season.
Philly
And for
has
the year,
dominated.
Caleb is doing really well for the year, right? I mean, he's just almost 3,000 yards in passing. He's got 17 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. So he's taking care of the ball. And the one thing that we talk about all the time with him is running out the back of the
Right.
right.
He still has a little bit of that hero in him where he thinks he
Still
can
has a little
make
bit of that.
he still thinks he's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
He is
yeah,
elusive. He is hard to tackle, but man, you can't be running out of the back of the end zone, and you can't be holding onto the football. He
right,
took a couple of sacks, and sometimes it's smart to take the sack. The sack is better than the turnover, right? Take the sack
right,
and punt. You've
right.
got the lead. Your defensive playing well. Take the sack and punt. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I get some of that, but he managed the game well, man. The
yeah,
hardest thing for young quarterbacks to learn is to manage the game, and I think he's doing a great job of managing game.
yeah. So it was just a rock solid performance by the Bears. Man, it just they hold the
Can't
cards, man. They can. I mean,
can't say
they're
enough.
not only are they number one in the NFC North, they're number one in the
As number one
conference.
in the conference.
In the conference,
Absolutely.
nobody saw this happening. So, man, congratulations to them right now, man. Yeah,
And then the Thanksgiving Day game, Green Bay going into Detroit and being the more physical team in that game
right, right,
and, and taking it to Detroit.
right. And Green Bay they've swept the Lions this season.
Yeah.
And my thing about Green Bay, and we talk about this every week, like I'm not impressed with Green Bay, but that game I was impressed by them. But I don't know if that says more about Green Bay or does it say more about the Lions,
I think both. I
right?
think both.
And we'll talk about the Lions down the end, but Jordan Love with the 4 touchdowns, he looked on fire. It's weird. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde. Like they have a weird personality thing. The team just we're not going to throw it this week, or we're going to throw it this week, or man. But they just beat down on the Lions, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree. I think a lot of that is, and we'll talk about that when we get individually with teams, but it's, you were talking last week about how they don't throw the ball deep a lot, and the truth, I'm saying they do throw the ball deep a lot. They just hadn't been hitting any of them, right? They hit all of them joints last week, right?
right,
Everything
right,
he put up deep, they hit last week. The two big fourth down
yep,
touchdowns that they
yep,
got were really the difference in the game, man. They played the game the way the Lions usually play, right? And they were just
exactly.
the team that made the plays that game. The Lions, I think they struggled with their intensity game, but we'll get to that when we talk about teams individually.
Yeah, and the other part of it for Green Bay, the defense was doing their thing, right?
Yeah.
They had pressure on Goff all day. So again, solid performance by them. I just don't know if it says more about who they are as a team or who Detroit is as a team. But we'll know this week when they play the Bears, right?
Yeah, that would be, that would be a good game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say we won't know until it all plays out, right?
Right,
Because,
right.
and we'll get into that. I was going to say something about the Lions being up, down, but we'll get into that. And then lastly, the Minnesota Vikings, man, with Max Brosner. And I think it may be pronounced Brosner because they kept calling him Brosner.
Brosmer,
Yeah, in the game.
Brosmer, 4
Right.
interceptions.
It won't matter. We may never see him play again, right?
We made it, man.
But that was a difficult watch, man. It was. I felt for the young man. He didn't have a chance, man.
Yeah. He didn't have a chance, and I almost feel like did the Vikings run him out there because they knew JJ was going to look that bad? Like,
See, I know we joked about that last week. Yeah, that young man needs the work, and yeah, knowing that Seattle's defense is as good as they are,
right.
and he's taking a beating, and he's already missed some games. It's like we're going to serve you up and let you go out there and think we probably aren't going to win this game anyway. We're going to send you out there to take this beating.
Right. Take the beating and kind of protect what JJ looks like, but that's just speculation on my part.
Yeah.
It just how my mind works sometimes when I think about things and how things play out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's
those kind of decisions do get made,
yeah,
absolutely.
I'm sure they do. I don't have any information though, no insider information on this.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm connecting some dots that might not be there, but
it's like Arsenio used to say, huh? It's one of them things that make you go, yeah.
That's right.
All right, well, let's turn the page from week 13 on to week 14. Not quite to week 14. Let's talk about the teams as we move into week 14 before we get into the individual games for the week. Let's start at the top of the division, talking about the Chicago Bears. As we move into the last quarter of the season, even though it is a little more than a quarter, they have 5 games left. Everybody in the divisions have 5 games remaining to play. How do you think the Chicago Bears should feel about their team as they sit atop the NFC conference?
They should feel excited. They should be in the locker room with the coach and have their shirt off, dancing. Look, like we talked about, they have outplayed my expectations. I'm sure everyone was looking at this season going into it and just like, hey, it's the first season for Ben Johnson. He's working with the second-year quarterback and all these type of things. But, man, they have put together something.
Yes, they have.
And we talk about that defense, how they're like at the bottom for most metrics, but they're leading the league in takeaways, and it's not even close.
Right.
So they have something going, right? And so if you're a fan of Chicago, you should feel on top of the world. I know there's a little bit of hesitation because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And these next 5 games will probably spell that out for you. But if they take 3 of the 5 games, they're in the playoffs.
They're gonna
and that's more than what I had expected for them.
If they win 3 more games, I think it'll be tough for Green Bay to jump them and win the division too.
Yeah. Green Bay has to win if they
both of the games against Chicago. They'd have to beat Chicago twice. Yes. And they'd still have to win 2 more games. Green Bay would have to win 4 out of 5, including both games against Chicago,
Right.
to leapfrog Chicago. So
Right.
it'll be tough for them to leap Chicago. Chicago controls their own destiny right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
And, we talked a few weeks ago about them and their ability to turn the ball over, to get turnovers on defense. And we questioned whether or not it was sustainable, right? Not say, and I said traditionally it hasn't been, right?
Right.
If you look back, traditionally it hasn't been sustainable, but it's different for me because I think they're playing a little bit better defense since they went and got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, right?
Right. Yeah, they're definitely playing a better brand of defense.
They're forcing more punts. They will bleed yards because they are not an attacking defense. They are more a bend but don't break, right? Where let's see if you can put together 10 plays without a holding play, without a false start, and without us busting through and tackling you in the backfield, right? Yeah. Or without you turning the ball over, right?
Right.
So I think they've started to play Dennis Allen's defense a little more sound. Playing a little better, and it's easier to play defense when you have the lead. Right?
Exactly.
So them getting leads these last few weeks and running the football, and again, that puts pressure on the offense. The offense comes out with a little anxiety when they come out.
Yes.
And if you're behind, you probably are going to be less likely to run the football. So you become a little more predictable and a little easier for the defense to play. And I think their defense has done a good job of stepping up these last few weeks.
Yeah. And
during this current 5-game winning streak that they have.
Yeah. And what you just broke down is exactly what happened against the Eagles. Once the Eagles got down, you could feel the tightness that they had.
Yeah.
Right? Like they weren't playing loose any longer. And, the passes. Yeah. So to your point, is exactly what that game played out. Once the Bears had the lead, the opponent came out. They were stressed. They were trying to get down the field and get out of their normal game plan.
Right.
But hey, Bears are ready. And
yes, they are.
Go ahead with the tush push. We'll take the ball from you.
Just took the ball from him, man.
Well, nobody ever thought of that.
And that wasn't even, he didn't go in with the peanut punch, right?
No, he just went in and just
he
two hands.
He went in and took his lunch from him, man.
Exactly, with 2 hands. That's a new approach. But yeah,
and
the Bears are good.
I haven't looked to see where PFF has their O-line ranked. I'll check that out sometime this week.
Yeah.
But man, their O-line, to me, they're playing better than the Rams O-line, better than Philly's O-line, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Carter and what's the other guy's name? Their other D tackle, his name eludes me right now, have been dominating offenses. They wrecked Green Bay's offensive line. Came back the next week, wrecked the Lions' offensive line, right? Who's next? Bring them up, right? And then Dahlman, Tooney, and Jonah Jackson. I've been talking about the 3 of them all year. Yep. They dominated those 2. I could not believe. I've not seen those 2 get dominated like that, right?
Right.
Everybody loses a rep, right? All these guys are pros. All these guys are good. So you're going to get beat sometimes. But consistently dominated the way. Their whole line was just pushing Philly's line off the ball.
Yep.
And Monangai has replaced Swift. Remember I said Swift wasn't a bell cow? He has been replaced. His carries have really been replaced by Monangai. Don't get hurt in this league, man. You will not get your job back.
But they both had over 100 yards rushing.
Which was ridiculous, right? Which was ridiculous. 280 yards rushing, man. That's ridiculous. That's Alabama versus Weber State, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on and let's talk about those Packers in Green Bay. How should they feel about their team as they head toward the very end of the season here?
They should feel good. I mean, they're on a 3-game winning streak since that Will McCann game against the Eagles. this weekend you saw Jordan Love be the version of Jordan Love you wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you don't have number one receivers, the guys that you have out there decided to catch balls.
They played.
And
He
I
said
mean,
they
they look,
decided to catch the ball this week.
yeah, they just decided we're catching balls this week. But they play really well, and they should feel comfortable where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
especially going into this week's game. Yeah, I mean, are they a Super Bowl contender? I don't know, but they do look better than they had been this season, right? And like I said, they're on a 3-game winning streak. So if you're a Packers fan, you should feel really, really good where you're at and heading into the last part of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was good for Jordan Love to have a game like that. It had been a while since he had played a game where he could feel like he played well.
Yeah,
Definitely played well in that game, man. And again, to me, that was more about there's something about, the intensity of the game, right? We talked about at the start of the season how the Lions had won 7 of the last 8 games against the Packers. And you just kind of got the feeling the law of averages are going to switch, right? They just do. When you have teams who are equally matched, you're going to have that up down. And if you don't have that up down and one team dominates a period of time, it's going to flow the other way, right? Where the other team will start to control that rivalry. And I thought that was going to happen, that the Lions were going to have that issue this week. Even though I thought they would win this game last week, I thought they would have that issue with the Packers. The Packers stayed with that thing. The reason they were going for it on 4th down is because they know the Lions are going to be going for it on 4th down.
right.
So we're going to have to match them score for score. And they were able to convert. The Lions weren't.
Right.
And I thought that was positive for them. Like you said, defensively, their defense really played well again, as they have for most of the season, right?
Yep.
They really controlled that game. They never gave Detroit an opportunity to threaten in that game.
Right. Yeah, it felt like Detroit was out that whole game.
Yeah.
Right.
They were playing from behind the whole game.
Yeah, not only just playing from behind, it just felt like they didn't have any answers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you almost got to a point in that game where you go, okay, this is going to be a 3-and-out, and the Lions don't usually do that, right? Well, the Dan Campbell Lions,
right?
But they had no answers. The Lions had no answers for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Defense shut down the Lions' rushing game, right? Jahmyr Gibbs, he had less than 70 yards or something ridiculously low. Where was Montgomery? They were just non-existent. And if the Lions don't have the running game going, as we saw when they played the Giants, you needed big plays from your rushing team, right? Yeah. So that wasn't working for them. And then Green Bay knows that's not working. So we're just going to pin our ears back and we're going to get after Jared Goff and get him off his spots and pressure him and blitz and all. So it was just an ugly game for the Lions, even though the score kind of indicated that they were in it. They weren't in that game. They were after the first quarter. You knew they weren't. Well, I knew they weren't winning that game. So, but yeah, Green Bay offense clicked, defense clicked. You should feel good in Green Bay right now.
Yeah, as they head toward the end of the season, they've got the Bears this week. They have to go they have the Bears at home this week. They go to Denver, then they go to Chicago after that.
Yeah.
Then they go, they're home against Baltimore. So their next 4 games are going to be difficult. But, like you said, it will define their season, right?
Yep.
At Denver is going to be a tough game. At Chicago is going to be a tough game.
Right.
So this will be a big game for them.
I think both Chicago games are going to be tough games.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Those division games always are.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on and let's talk about those Detroit Lions. So how do you think they should feel as they head toward the end of the season?
The Lions need a lot of help.
Yeah.
even if they were to win maybe 3 games out of the last 5, they need help from other teams
Yes,
to get them into the playoffs.
yes,
And I just don't see where they have the manpower. The
right.
offensive line is devastated with injuries.
Yep.
Your defensive line is non-existent right now. Aiden Hutchinson is not getting any pressure on quarterbacks. He's almost like lost in the game. You don't hear his name come up that often. You got injuries on the back end. You got players that are not coming back this season.
Right.
Right? It's a wrap for the Lions.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to have, it's going to be difficult for them going
Yeah.
down the stretch because they've lost so many key people. They lost a lot of people last year, but it was all on one side of the ball.
Right.
And it wasn't on the side of the ball that was the strength of their team, right?
Right.
So they were able to overcome it by, accentuating the positive.
Right. Yeah,
It's
we're just going to run
difficult.
up the score on you.
Say it again.
We're just going to run up the score on you.
Exactly.
We're gonna, our
We'll just
defense is
keep
going to
scoring.
give up points.
We'll just
We're
keep
just
scoring.
going to keep scoring.
Right. Yeah, and it's not like that when you have issues with the O-line and you have skilled players out, right?
Right.
Their starting tight end out, their best wide receiver out.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got, linemen that are out. They got teased thinking Frank Ragnow was going to come back. Not that that was going to make a difference, but then that got shot down. That was hilarious.
Right.
So yeah, and then like you said, the back end of the defense with all the injuries is an issue. Aleem McNeil coming back from injury isn't the same player. Like you said, Hutch isn't the same player he was last year. Some of it I think is fatigue and working back from an injury.
Right.
He's not playing as well as the season has progressed, right? He's not playing as well the last few weeks as he did at the beginning of the
At
season.
the beginning. Yeah.
And I think some of that fatigue of the season is setting in with him. So yeah, the Lions have some concerns.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell is their coach. They will always be ready, right?
Mhm.
They will always come with playing the game the right way, right? They're going to come and they're going to play hard. They just don't have the horses right now. And
Right.
I think because of it, they look like they're a step slow. And when it's your line, when your lines aren't playing well, it's difficult for you to be solid.
Yeah.
Everything starts at the ball, right?
Yep.
And when you're
On
getting
both
beat
sides.
on defense at the ball, you don't have a chance. And when your offensive line can't make haste with the defensive line on the other team, you're ineffective offensively also.
Right. And then you're playing from behind. So it's just, again, you just can't create the momentum that you need with the game plan that you had and all those injuries. And like you said, the players that are coming in are a step slower.
Yeah.
So you just don't have the continuity to create big plays or sustainable drives even, right? But the top end of it is that Jameson Williams, he had 7 catches, a touchdown. He dropped 1 ball, but hey, it was a 4th down. But he looked good. He's playing with some passion and doing his thing. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, Gibbs had 20 carries for 68 yards.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just that shows that your offensive line is struggling, and because of that, Green Bay's defensive line took over the line of scrimmage.
Yes, they
and
did.
Just couldn't get anything going.
Your offensive line is getting beat when linebackers are making tackles in the backfield,
right,
at the line of scrimmage, right? You know your offensive line is getting beat.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got some concerns.
Yeah, so they got a uphill battle.
They need a lot of help, right?
They need a lot of
Like you
help.
said, yeah, they need a lot of help.
Tomorrow night might be the
Yeah,
end of the season.
winning cures all ills, right? And that's the
Right.
only thing that will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah. So yeah, we'll get to the games in a minute.
I got some conspiracy theories about the game, so Lions fans, be ready.
All right, and then lastly, the Minnesota Vikings. And how should the Vikings feel as they head to the fourth quarter of the season?
I just said it's a wrap for the Lions if they don't win, but it's a wrap on the Vikings season, y'all. You went 1,700 miles to put up a goose egg.
Mm.
Your boy Brosmer or Brosmer, let me just say this: 4 interceptions, and the hometown hero asking to be waived so he can go play and be on a competitive team for the
Yes,
rest of the season.
yes, yes,
That is a result of the product that you have at quarterback right now.
yes.
And the other issue is that for the first time since 2022, Justin Jefferson did not talk to the media after the game.
Really,
You
really.
got problems out there.
Yeah,
So either you either it is JJ and you're going to get him to the level that you where everybody see. How can I say this? You need JJ to be the quarterback by the end of the season,
yes,
right? That way everybody in the organization knows we're either with JJ next year or we're going to get a quarterback
yeah,
because we have to go get somebody, right? Because we can't lose the best player on the team.
yeah.
And that's the danger that you have right now.
They tried to bring in a veteran like Carson Wentz to be an insurance policy in case JJ didn't play well or it was obvious he was in over his head.
Yeah.
And that didn't work when Wentz got hurt, and Wentz wasn't playing well before that, right?
No.
Um,
I know,
you
right?
know, it's. I think we talked about this. Yeah, we did talk about it. I was trying to think last week when I said that Brad Holmes made the statement, it's easier to get worse at quarterback than it is to get better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now they have an uphill battle to fight, right?
Right.
They would have been better off trying to sign either Jones or Darnold and making JJ fight for his job, right? The
Right.
fact that they didn't bring in a vet to have him compete for his job, I thought was a mistake for them. I
Yeah.
thought it was a mistake in Chicago when they did it with Caleb, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other guys in the locker room don't respect a guy who gets handed a job, right?
Right.
Because everybody else on the team has to earn their job. So when
Exactly.
they see somebody get handed a job, the rest of the guys, they have some concerns about that. That guy better step up and be the man.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah.
steps in and be the man, they're going to rally around him. If he's not, you'll get your best player not wanting to talk to the media, right?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, that's a decision that they are going to have to eat. I think whether they decide JJ is the man or JJ shows he should be given an opportunity to be their quarterback going forward, I still say go sign another veteran quarterback and have
you
him
ha-
compete.
you have to, because if you say JJ is the man, you already have people in your locker room that don't believe he is the man. The defense, some of the defensive players as a unit are saying, we think we played well. The
I
team just
think
needs
they
to
did
play
too.
complementary football.
I think they did too. I thought they played
So,
well against Seattle. But
right?
when your quarterback's turning over the ball four times and they force field goals, I think every time. No,
Yeah.
three of the times. The one time was a pick six. They couldn't do anything about it. None of them could run out and tackle that guy. Right?
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
already
I
have
thought their defense did play. Their defense has played well all season. Their defense has played well enough for them to be a playoff team. But
right.
they're getting nothing from their offense.
They're getting nothing from their offense, specifically from the quarterback.
And it
And
starts at
you
the
have a locker room that is starting to be or starting to how can I say this? Your locker room is at the point where people are starting to say the things in public
yeah,
that
yeah,
they were keeping in the locker room.
yeah.
So you have some division coming out of your locker room. And to your point, if you do say that JJ is the guy, you need to bring in a quality backup so that everybody is on the team rowing in the same direction,
Yeah,
understanding that if it's not JJ 3 or 4 games into next season, we have somebody that that'll get us there,
that
right?
can go in and win
So
games for us. Yeah,
yeah. So that Vikings got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do.
yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of Kevin O'Connell. I've seen him work with other quarterbacks and get them to play effectively. Some concerns. I have some concerns with what I've seen with JJ so far.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just a lot of it. My concern is he's got some issues he may never be able to overcome. If the 2 years of college football that he didn't play, he can never make up, right?
Yeah.
That development time can never be made up.
Yeah.
So it's almost for him, you either have it or you don't, right?
Yeah.
The skills that you have, how quickly can you develop those to be a serviceable NFL quarterback? Mm-hmm. And a lot of it just comes with the speed of the game just moves too fast for a lot of the guys. You see them hit their spot, they're supposed to hit their target, it ain't there, and they start looking, and now they're sacked, right? Because I don't know where my check down is, and I'm not going to it right away. I look to my check down to see if my check down is there. You got to be able to see all 22 and know, let me just get into my check down and live to fight another down.
Yeah. And part of the problem for JJ is the quarterbacks that he came in with Jaden Daniels and Caleb. And they look ready, right? Add water, mix, they're ready. Yeah. JJ might just be a quarterback that needs time to develop. He might be
Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield.
Right. He might need 3 or 4 years, right? But at the same time, it just does not look good. It doesn't look like he has the tools.
And the biggest issue he has is usually you can give a guy time to develop if you have a young team developing with him, right? They already have a team that's good enough to win, and he's developing. That don't work for those other guys, right? They only have Adam Thielen. Thielen's days are numbered. Man, he ain't got time to sit around and wait for this kid to develop. And for everybody else, they're a year older. They'll be a year older next year. And we still don't know about the kid. So, Minnesota's got some issues. I don't think anybody in the organization is in trouble right now. But as far as making the decisions and getting them into the situation they're in, but some questions will start to be asked about some people this time next year if you don't see a different version of J.J. McCarthy.
Right. Definitely. Yeah, the circumstances just didn't play out for him. The class that he came in with, and then the team he's with that is ready to be a competitive team, right? So it's not a good situation for him. So hopefully they can get it turned around, and 2026 looks better.
Yes.
But dude, that locker room is not happy.
I agree. All right, let's turn the page and start talking about the games this week. All right, let's start with those Minnesota Vikings as they are at home hosting the Washington Commanders. Another team that's struggling. And tell me how you see that game this week.
Minnesota's favored by 1.5. The over under is 41.5. Is Jaden Daniels playing? Do we
I,
know?
I doubt it. No, I think
All
it's going to be
right. So
Mariota.
they're gonna run Marcus Mariota out there. I love Marcus Mariota. But I have
I
if
love the
Marcus
way you
Mariota,
said run him. I heard you say run him out.
they'll run him out there. I mean, he might be a good fit in Minnesota. But
As we are talking about guys they should go after.
right. So I have this game. I have this game. Commanders 13, Vikings 9. Yeah, yeah. I just that's all I got. Is JJ back? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I see it similar, right? I see a low scoring game also. Um, you
It's a
know
low
what?
scoring game, but it's not going to be a Will McCain game.
No, it's not. You're right. Absolutely. Because as I was watching that Minnesota Seattle game last week, the first half or so of that game, I'm thinking, this is a pretty good ball game. And then I'm like, okay, can Minnesota do something? I mean, come on, can we another turnover, man? Come on. All right, now this is our
Right.
hand. Yeah, this game could get like that, right? Um, I just think this will be one of those games where Kevin O'Connell rallies his team,
Okay.
gets them to play. I think they can play well enough on defense that they will limit what Washington does. I think the pressure of Brian Flores' defense will give them problems without Daniels and his ability to get around, to move in the pocket, to escape from the pocket and make plays.
Yeah.
Mariota has some of that in him. He's just not at that level. And
Right.
I think Minnesota in the blitz game will give him fits. I think Minnesota will scratch out just enough points to win this game. And I see it Minnesota 20, Washington 16.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the Thursday night game where the Dallas Cowboys travel to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions.
Detroit is favored by 3. The over under is 53.5. I have it Cowboys 28, Lions 17. Cowboys are on a roll. They beat the Eagles, they beat the Chiefs. All phases of the Cowboy team is playing well. Offense, defense, special teams. At the same time, the Lions have been on a different road. So one team's trending up, the other team's trending down. So I see it, like I said, Cowboys 28, Lions 17, plus the refs are going to get involved because the NFL loves the Cowboys. And, and they make more money when the Cowboys are involved because more people love or hate the Cowboys than there are Lions fans. So that's my conspiracy.
The NFL, the Cowboys being good is good for the NFL. I agree with
Right.
that. And the people on Park Avenue recognize that.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm not saying that there's any conspiracies or anything. I'm just saying.
Just saying. Might
Well,
be some questionable calls.
I come in with my theories all the time, up, down, professional pride. And I think I've got some of that. The Lions have been the perfect up, down team the last 7 weeks.
Okay.
We talk about how they haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 years. They haven't won back-to-back games in 7 weeks now.
Oh man.
So I think we catch the Lions on an up-down.
Okay. Okay.
With that professional pride of having their guys out, I think, and we've seen it before. from the Lions under Dan Campbell, where he rallies the troops. He's able to get the troops to rally with a bunch of guys who have shown up, midweek, and were able to go out and scratch out a victory. And I think they can go out and scratch out a victory against the Cowboys, who, as you say, have been on a heater, right? They have been playing well. It's about time for them to have a down performance, right? So I've got this game, Detroit 27, the Cowboys 24.
Okay.
So we're different on both of them so far.
Yes. Yes.
And then we come to the division game this week. The Chicago Bears traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. How do you see that game?
Green Bay is favored by 6.5. The over-under is 44.5. Avid Bears 28. Packers 31.
Oh, you see a high-scoring game.
I do. Usually what happens, though, is I throw out these high scores, and then it's like a Will McCann game.
Yeah.
Where it's low-scoring, defense is doing everything, right? But you actually have two teams that have really good offenses and really good defenses. So it's gonna come down to who gets the takeaways, who can control the line of scrimmage, right? So for me, I feel like the Packers have a little bit more on the defensive end than the Chicago Bears do, right? Like I feel like I could rely on the Packers defense to win against Chicago's offense. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. And I would agree with that. Yeah. And you said 31-28?
Yep.
Green Bay?
Bears. Yep.
Yeah, I see it similar, only I see it low scoring.
Okay.
I see it being this is going to be one of those Will McCann division games, right? This is going to be a slugfest. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be cold. This is NFL football right here.
There you go.
It's December. It's going to be cold. There won't be a lot of passing. I expect there to be a couple of big plays by both teams. It will come down to turnovers. I agree with that. Jordan Love is the more turnover prone of the two quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So that makes me a little nervous with them. But because they are at home, coming off a big Thanksgiving win at home, and they get the extended time after the Thanksgiving Day game, even though Chicago played the next day, and they'll be rested also. They got some a little extra rest also. I see Green Bay winning this game at home. I see Green Bay 20, Chicago 17.
Okay.
All right, so that wraps us up for this week, my man. You got anything you want to take us out with? Any last thoughts?
No last thoughts. Just really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Will and I love talking NFC North football. But when we're not, we're helping people buy, sell, and invest. If you have questions about your next move, don't fumble the ball. Contact us for our winning game plan in real estate. Fellas, share the pie with your buddies, and ladies, share it with your crew. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't be a knucklehead. Drop that 5-star rating.
And leave us those comments. We love the comments. Any suggestions anybody have about ways we can improve the show or any features we should add? We'd love to hear those as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I like that you said that, suggestions, because that bonus episode of the Michigan versus Ohio State was a conversation I had with my cousin Trent, who lives in Ohio. And he just said,
shout out to Trent.
Shout out to Trent. And we were just having a conversation. He's like, you should do that. And I was like, we should. So
you know what? That sounds like a good idea.
It sounds like a good idea. So to Will's point, shoot us those comments. Give us some critiques. Let us know what we can do better, what you want to hear.
Yes,
And we're looking into getting better every time we do this. So
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah,
All right, folks, and as Tellis said, we certainly appreciate you listening. Share it with your friends, and we will see you next time.
yes, sir.